To the NBA we go now. Lakers. He did not play in the fourth.
In the West, you ain't beating any of those three teams. Not if you're the Los Angeles Lakers. By and large, everybody believes that. And so that's where their problem comes, particularly when you talk about the likes. Denver has depth and they have Jokic. But San Antonio has that eraser in Wembanyama, and OKC has a collective eraser because everybody on that squad plays defense and they come for you. So the Lakers don't really stand a chance. That's why you're looking at them and you're saying they're in dire straits. If they were the fourth or fifth seed and you had an opportunity to avoid one of those three teams in the first round, although you still probably would be at a deficit because you likely probably have to go against Houston, okay? The bottom line is somebody would give you a better chance because Houston's got issues at the point guard spot, and they struggle in the fourth quarter turning the damn ball over like they did 9 times against the New York Knicks on Saturday. But the likelihood is San Antonio, Denver, or OKC. And that's why we're looking at the Lakers and saying things seem a bit daunting.
Right, and listen, Houston's issue to me, and I watched that whole game on Saturday, is that they only have Durant who can score. In big games, Durant's going to score. And if Durant has a bad shooting day, as he did in the fourth quarter against the Knicks, they're going to lose. Because they showed it last year against Golden State. They couldn't throw the ball in the ocean in big spots against the Warriors. So they bring Durant in, who's one of the all-timers. We all love him. Great. And when he's on, he scores his 35 points. They can win. But there is a limit of what they can do offensively against a good team in a big spot in the fourth quarter. That's the problem I have with Houston, myself.
Well, you should have that problem with Houston, but you got to remember, Doggy, they went to the playoffs last year. They gave the Warriors a run for their money. They didn't have a number one offensive option. Right. They do now. And the likelihood is that when you talk about Durant struggling, let's be very, very clear. We don't expect him to struggle, but so much. This is a career 27-point-per-game scorer, a 50-40, close to 90 guy because he shoots about 88% from the free throw line. The brother's automatic. And so you're not really anticipating it, or rather, if you are anticipating and hanging your hat on Kevin Durant struggling to score the ball, good luck.
You need
because that ain't going to happen often.
Steve, you need 2 guys. Murray and Jokic, you need 2 guys. Tatum and Brown, you need 2 guys.
To win a championship, not necessarily to win a first-round series, though.
Well, they're going to be playing a pretty decent team in that first round. They're going to be playing. They might be playing a decent team. They could play the Timberwolves. They could lose that series.
Well, who was the second? Well, who was the bona fide second option on Minnesota? Even though Julius Randle can score, he wasn't considered like a prolific scorer and stuff like that. But the Minnesota Timberwolves were in the Western Conference Finals. You can make some noise in the playoffs when you can start 4 dudes 6'11" and above, especially if Kevin Durant is your number one option. I'm not saying it's automatic, but you certainly can pull it off. I can't sleep on Houston when it comes to that.
All right, down the stretch here will be interesting. Do you have a final word, Wendy, on this situation with the Lakers? Go ahead.
Here's the bottom line. These 3 guys don't fit together. They're not working. Next year, they're probably only going to have Luka and Austin Reeves. And yesterday, Lon Rosen, who is their brand new head of basketball business operations, said that Rob Pelinka is, and this is not a surprise, but Rob Pelinka is going to remain in that seat and be the general manager. So it's now on Rob Pelinka to figure out how to use their cap space coming up this summer to reform around Luka, because this triumvirate, it's not working. It's just not.
It's not working. And another thing is when you talk about Lon Rosen, or obviously a longtime agent, a big time figure in NBA circles, in sports figures altogether, incredibly close to Magic Johnson, represented Magic Johnson for years, very, very close to Jeannie Buss.
Austin came out with 5 minutes. LeBron got to sit the whole game. He got a chance to rest. That's key. And then you got guys to be able to build a rhythm. Luke Kennard getting some looks. Obviously Luka was unbelievable from start to finish, but Austin, more importantly than anybody, he's the guy that you want to find or see find his rhythm back. Yeah. So, and then others, we said Marcus Smart, Rui, they're all kind of, fitting in or finding themselves and building more confidence. So you got a chance to rest and relax a little, but also build some confidence and get one of those games that is very much needed and a win.
Yeah, shout out to Luke Kennard. He continued his strong play. I do want to start with Luka, though, guys. He only played 3 quarters, but it's his 10th 40-point game this season. 4th Laker with 10 40-plus games in a season with 19 games left. And, James, that first quarter, Luke was 5 for 5 from 3 with 22 points. And he ends up with 44, 9, and 5. Efficient night for Luka.
He set the tone. He set the tone at home. He's an excellent offensive player, and he will take advantage of what the defense gives him. Usually, if he doesn't see a double team coming, and it's just one-on-one, he's going to try to take advantage of that. And I thought tonight he just really played a full game outside, getting to the cup, and dropping some dimes, just leading the way for his teammates.
I'd like to imagine he'd have a lot more numbers on that list. This is only his first full season with the Lakers.
Yeah.
And he's on that list with some unbelievable names.
Crazy.
So if he gets a couple more seasons and he plays what we expect him to, like another 10, he might be leading the pack there. But again, he's getting 30 in his sleep, and when he's got the 3-ball going, it's 40. You can count it, and making free throws. So, and he did it in 3 quarters tonight, which was unbelievable. Hitting bank shots, doing it all. But I said I love what he did last night in Denver, where he's moving the ball, even tonight, kind of getting guys involved.
Yeah.
And then also give himself a chance to rest. Like, he earned that quarter off by getting 44 in 3 quarters.
Danny, it's something JJ said to Mike Trudell at halftime in that second quarter when the Lakers started to separate, and you saw the pressure come off a little bit. Indiana's going hard at first, getting into the paint, keeping that game close. Luka's able to separate that game. When you're on a team with a guy that can just go on a heater like that and can separate you, how much easier does the game become for everyone else?
I mean, I wouldn't say cakewalk, but it just becomes fun. It becomes like pickup, and just guys that, like AAU days, just going out and doing some. You see Jackson Hayes getting dunks. You see other guys getting involved. Marcus Smart pointing to the crowd. So when your superstars got it going and you got a comfortable lead, and at any given moment they can turn it on when they want to, you always have a chance to win, even when it's close. But when it's not close and they're playing like that, it's one of those nights where everybody gets a chance to kind of eat.
Yeah, especially when you got a guy like this who can just, get baskets, when he wants, at will. I think it improves your defense. I think guys say, okay, we got this guy, he's hot. It makes you want to go and, play a little bit better defense, get it back to him. He's a heater. But, when you got a guy like Luka, man, there's guys in the league that can get it done. Durant's, obviously, Steph Curry. But this guy, he just night in and night. I mean, he makes it look really easy. Yeah. He makes it look really easy.
Does it at his own pace, and nobody speeds him up.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, he's comfortable.
I want to show you guys the Western Conference standings just 24 hours after dropping the game to Denver and falling back a game and a half. Heartbreaking fashion. The Lakers pick up a game on the Nuggets. Remember, they had a back-to-back at home. They got blown out at home by the Knicks by 40. And unfortunately, Jamal Murray exited the game after 18 minutes with an ankle injury. Don't know the severity of that, but the Lakers taking advantage of a bad Pacers team, so they're now 38-25, just a half game behind the Nuggets, a couple of games behind the T-Wolves, who they will see on Tuesday. But first, the New York Knicks, red hot, obviously, after that Denver game, coming into town on Sunday. But that Western Conference, and Danny, we talk a lot about it on our shows here. It's going to be moving every single night, 19 games left in the season. It's fun to watch the scoreboard as well if you're a fan.
Absolutely. It's going to come down to the last week or two. But I feel like there's been a lot of seasons where the races are close, but it's always up, changing and moving. At this point in the season, you got to focus on you and focus on the bigger picture and getting better. Control your controllables, as they always say, and dictate your own destiny. If you take care of business and do what you're supposed to do, you're going to end up where you're supposed to be. And not worry about where Minnesota is, where Houston is, or Denver, or let's try to manipulate who we want to play in the first round. That's when the basketball gods will come to get you. If you just play basketball and play to win, and if they take care of business on these next 5 games and get 3 or 4 of the next 5 and win against those top 500 teams, they'll be placed at a pretty good position to where they might be able to get home court advantage if they continue to win out and play better basketball.
That's the goal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's in their control right now. They are in a good spot with the opportunity to move up. This next game, the biggest test of the year, maybe, with the Knicks coming in here. It's just at this time of the year. They've had some big games, but this time of the year, with the Knicks coming in and the way the Knicks are playing, as confident as they are, you're looking at a potential, Eastern Conference championship, perhaps. I don't want to get ahead of myself because Detroit and some other teams are out there. But this is a big game for the Lakers to test to see where they really are, playing against a really good team that's a playoff-bound team that's pretty solid in a lot of categories. They're going to be tested on Sunday.
Maybe this isn't a coincidence. Maybe it is. Rob Pelinka trades for Luke Kennard, one of the top three-point shooters in the league. And about 4 or 5 games ago, JJ wanted him to be a little more aggressive, get that volume up. But when you look at this Laker team, all of a sudden, they're a little more consistent from 3. They're on the rise since the All-Star break. And, Danny, this is, starting to get a larger sample size. We're talking 9 games. They are shooting 41% 41% from three. Again tonight, 46%, 17 of 36.
Yeah, I mean, it's climbing a percent pretty much per game, it looks like, because before the game it was 40%, now they're 41. But that's what happens when you're having fun and you're moving the ball and everybody's involved. You got a couple of games where you can build confidence and get some really good cushion and wins. But in that process, again, you're putting money in the bank. You're getting rest, you're getting guys involved, you're getting Marcus Smart confident, you're getting Luka Doncic. Now all we got to see is Jake LaRavia kind of get it back some. But everybody's getting good looks. Luka's shooting at a high clip. And again,
that's been huge.
Kind of struggled from three most of the year until after the All-Star break. After that injury, he's kind of refocused. Again, if we can get Austin Reeves and Jake LaRavia there, you know, sky's the limit of what this group can accomplish. But Luka Doncic, it seems as if adding him to the team has opened up the floor and made shooting for everybody that much better. And the group is shooting way better. And
James, on different nights, you can see 6, 7 different Lakers, 8 Lakers hit threes. There are guys that are capable of shooting threes. 6, 7.
Yeah, but you know,
it's tired now, right? 6, 7's out.
When the ball's moving. I mean, look, we're going to repeat this over and over. When it's moving, and it's